Hey, what's going on, y'all? I want to do another video on how to build a powerful e-bike by just using, the bikes from Walmart for fairly cheap. And I'm gonna tell you how I did mine and show you the parts that you might need to do yours if you're gonna do a replica of mine's as the ones you've seen in my videos, my previous videos, how fast it went. And it is a pretty fast bike, I'm not gonna lie. Didn't even thought about building something to go that fast. But I'll just tell you the reasons why I got stuff in the video. So this video is to people that want to do something similar to my build, that doesn't want to invest in a enduro frame that's heavy. In my opinion, well, it is heavy. Um, you want something just a little bit lighter, a little bit nimble. Um, just to get on the sidewalk. And where I live, if I had something like that, you know, it'll be a bullseye to some police officers because they'll look at that as a dirt bike. There's a lot of people riding dirt bikes in my neighborhood, and if I get that, what I mean, I'll be targeted. So that's the reason why I went with the Walmart bike, because it's a lot cheaper. You know, I didn't. I don't think I needed a reason to go out and to the local bike shop and get a very expensive bike and did the modifications I did with this bike to a more expensive bike. And those bikes really don't have the space for the battery that I'm about to show you. So we're gonna go to my bike and we're gonna go through the parts that's on that bike, how much did it cost, and the total of everything that I spent on the bike. So let's go ahead and go to the bike and let's get to the specs. All right, so here's the bike. I know y'all seen this bike in a bunch of videos that I did already. Um, so I just want to just give you a very detailed illustration of the parts that I got and how did I get it and the aftermath of everything I put together, the performance of it. I mean, just the whole 9 yards. So we're gonna go to the back of the bike and work our way to the front. So to start off, to build a high powered e-bike, you got to get the right motor. So my chosen was a QS. It says QS 205 V3 50H motor with a 3.5 T winding. And the reason why I chose this motor, because it's light, very powerful, and it fits in the dropouts. I was thinking about getting a QS 273, and it was just too heavy when I read the specs on it. Just way too heavy for what I'm going to be doing with this bike. Now, the dropout is 150 millimeters, and it fits in this frame just fine. Didn't have to tweak nothing, didn't have to bend nothing. This is aluminum. Once you get the motor in, and once you have the motor and everything getting in its frame. And by the way, this is a 29-inch wheel too, but you can get them in 20s and all that, different wheel size. So if you look right here, if you can see, these two was the torque arms that actually came with the motor on both sides, the right and left. And if you might not be able to see it, let me see, but right there between the axle and this torque arm, it's a slotted, it's keyed, it's like a slotted key on this axle that that this torque arm slides right into. So you can slide that torque on right on that key slot, and then in the other torque arm, actually put it on this side with a nut. This, you don't have to necessarily have this. I just use this because I have a trailer and I ride my daughter on this right here. As you can see, welded to the torque arm. This is actually a standard torque arm, and I'm gonna bring it up to you right now. Okay, so these pieces right here is just a standard torque arm, as you can see right here. And then what I did, I just chopped it about right there with a grinder, and then I attached it to this frame, because these frames already come with holes. It has one on this side, and it has one right there. So I just had two of these torque arms and chopped them off the same length, and I bolted to the frame, and that's just for extra security. And then I torqued this nut down, as you can see right there. And the cable, I mean, the cable is got a lot of clearance. It doesn't touch the rotor or anything like that, and it just wraps around and then zip tied and goes up to the controller. And if you do get these rotors, these actually these Zoom 4 piston calibers. There's the part number. I had brought these on AliExpress for $100, and they come with the whole set and the toolkit to cut the line to a certain length and to tie in and thread it in here. Now, on my previous videos, I had a problem with my brakes. What happened is that I was bleeding them for apparent reason, and because I had a cut in the line, so I had to replace the line, and I had to get those compressed fittings, and I didn't have this tight enough, and when I squeezed the brakes, this whole line came loose and it had fluid everywhere. So now my brake pads feels like butter or ice, as you can see. It just glides over the rotor right here. So this is a 160 millimeter rotor, which I'll be upgrading to 180. And to fit this rotor in, you're going to need some spacers, like washers. You can't really see it on the video because it's really tucked in there, but you need some just one washers on each bolt here, because if you don't have washers and you have this rotor flush against the motor, you won't be able to put this caliber on the rotor, because the rotor will be too far close to the motor, and the mounts or the slots that's in the caliber, they're not long enough to adjust. They don't have a adjustability wide. It's too narrow. So that's how I got the motor on the frame, the dropouts. And right here on the back, I used a double nut. Tighten this up tight as I can get it, and lock it in with another nut. You know what I'm saying? Because it comes with 2 nuts. When you get this motor, it'll come with actually 4 sets of nuts. It'll come with a skinny one and then a real fat one. That's with the flush, like a washer nut that bolts up to the dropout. The derailleur, you really don't, well, if you do off-roading, this is what's going to happen if you have the stock derailleur. So the chain just slaps on this when you jumping and everything. So I had brought this Event X derailleur, and it's working at the moment. Sometimes it won't lock, sometimes it will. At the moment it's locking, but a derailleur with a clutch is a must, because I had the stock derailleur and it just ate this whole frame up. I need to get, well, damage is done, I guess, but I should have had some protective padding over this to keep that chain from slapping. The crankset, I brought this off Amazon for like $50. I will share y'all the links and everything if y'all want to purchase this chain ring, and these are very, very nice. These actually like $35 on Amazon, and I mean, overstock, it just feels so much better. 3 bearings, I think, on this axle right here. So that's it for this part right here, which is you don't really need this. The stock one is just fine because it's also a narrow ride too. Let's go up to this controller, because this is the main thing you're gonna need. And this is right here. It's the Sabaton 72-200 controller, and the 200 and the 150 amp controller is all you need to deliver the power to that motor. And let me tell you, these controllers, man, will actually lift the front wheels on demand and have no problems with this. I on some of my videos I had the DC amps set to 150, but I had redid my battery. I will get to that in a minute though, but when I redid my battery, I put it at 200 DC amps, 450 phase. Mid current is at 100. I'm probably gonna change that to 120. I got my e-brake set to 40 amps. My e-brake, I think that's about it as far as the setting goes. But anyways, this thing it's like a freaking a beast, man. It make this whole bike so fun to ride and everything. So if you do get the controller, there's a bunch of controllers you can get, but I think the Sabaton, the 150 and the 200 with the not the side mounts, but you need the version 2 with the mounts that goes on both sides right here. And you can see I just bolted up right there. You can see there's a bolt right there. I just drill a hole like I did my son's bike, and you can just bolt it up right here, and you can have the cables a little bit neater. I just, you know what I mean, I gotta go and redo all that, waterproof the cables and everything. I don't usually ride this out in the rain, but I do ride it off on a dirt road, and I wish there was a company that can make a protector that bolts up to here and it comes down like this, but still allow air to go over it, you know, like some sort of a plastic protector, you know, because I really don't want to ruin the finish on this controller. It just looks so nice. It looks so nice. Okay, so let's go a bit to the shocks. Okay, you have to replace the shocks. The front shocks, it's not designed for this heavy setup right here. Any jumps over 3 feet, you're gonna bottom out. And that is concerning me because I really don't want the shock to break down on me. So I had to kind of like be easy on the jumps and everything to go off road. But yes, have to upgrade the shock. It's not designed for this right here. So the front, as you can see, it's has a 180 floating rotor and have the 4 piston zoom calipers, and they work just fine. I don't feel the need to go and get freaking high-end Maguras or Tektro or Shimano. These work plenty. They will lock the wheel up with no problem. $100, you know, for the whole set. I mean, I'm not trying to be cheap, but I mean, it's better than mechanicals, you know. I don't know how it is compared to the rest of them, but I mean, it stops me just fine, and it'll lock the back wheel up. All that weight right there, it'll lock the back wheel up, no problem. So now, let's talk about the battery. Now, if you running a high power setup like this with the Sabaton, the 150 and the 200, I don't know about the 100s and the 80s, but the 150s and the 200 controller, you gotta get a battery to feed that motor with this controller. Anything on a 30 amp hour battery, it's not gonna work. You're not gonna have the range. You're gonna risk the battery getting too hot because of the over current. If you have a BMS in it, you don't have to worry. But if you have a 30 amp hour battery, 72 volts, 30 amp hours, and it can draw upwards to 200 amps, then you won't have no problem. But if you're riding hard, you're not going to have a decent range. With this is a 72 40 amp hour battery, and I have, I mean, some good range. I haven't charged this thing up in 3 days, and right now it's at 50%. And the reason why I couldn't charge it because I broke my charger. I was charging it, the charger failed, and it was a big blue light, and that was it. I mean, it just no more work. The fuse, I took it apart. The fuse was blown. I know there's a bad transistor in it. I tried to replace the fuse in it. I plugged it back in. It was another spark, and I just threw away the charger. But luckily, the manufacturer for this battery that the charger came with said they're gonna send me out another charger, so that's good. This battery is from VOL batteries from AliExpress. I will give y'all the description if y'all want to know about this battery. And so yeah, this I'm gonna tell you about the speed on this thing, the performance and the speed. So in order to fit this battery, before I go into speed, in order to fit this battery in this frame, as you can see, I had to cut the top tube off. The tube actually sat about that low. So in order to fit this battery, and I had to go to Ace Hardware and I had to go pick up some aluminum. As you can see, I think this is about like 20 inches long. So I had to weld on the top in order to fit this battery in. And it has padding here, and it has Velcro down here, as you can get from Walmart. Just Velcro it in, and it keeps it from moving, you know, when you're off-roading and everything. So yeah, that's about the battery. And like I say, oh, and this is a Schwinn Axum. This is a DP model. You don't have to get the DP model. Reason I got DP model because of the adjustable, the seat post and everything. But they do have a regular Schwinn without the seat post that's on my son's bike. It's not here right now because they're in school. They rode to school and everything. Now we're gonna talk about the top part, which is the UKC1 display. Now once you buy this controller, now I bought this controller for $500 airship. You really don't have to get the air shipping, but I was just eager to get it. Also the motor was separate. I brought that for $500 air. That includes fast shipping through FedEx. And so when I brought this controller, it came with the controller, display. It came with some hand grips, the brakes, but I opted out for the full hydraulic brakes and everything. And but this twist throttle, I like this twist throttle so much better. It just looks better than the other twist throttle, which I have over here. It just looks better than this one. I mean, don't get me wrong, ain't nothing wrong with this throttle. It just looks plain, you know. These throttles they work just fine, you know. And but the other one, it looks better. I have the other side too, which I'm gonna be putting that on soon. But this is the stock grip that came with the bike. So okay, how about the seat, y'all? Get you a good seat, okay? Because the stock seat that comes on it, let me go grab that seat right quick. Okay, here's the stock seat. Comes with it. It's very small, no support for us big guys. I mean, it's real light though, because you want light, you want lightness, you know what I'm saying? But it's, I mean, where's the cushion at? So if you want to have hemorrhoids, get this seat right here. This right here will have you itching all night. Okay? So for comfortability, this is a what's it, Traeger? But you know what I'm talking about. But it's called a Boulevard. If you can see right here, I brought this from the Trek store. This cost $54 just for that seat, and so I brought that. Anyways, this grip costed me $34 from eBay. I brought this separate because the Sabaton controller came with the other twist throttle I showed y'all. Also, it comes with an alarm, so that's a good thing. And this battery, it cost me $579 from the Volt Battery Enterprise off AliExpress. So this bike, the Schwinn Axum DP, was $4.99 at Walmart. So you looking at about 510 out the door for the whole bike set and everything. The derailleur, you don't really need it, but I'm gonna give you the price on it. It was $79 just for the derailleur. I had to buy the shifter separate, and I think the shifter was about $36 for it. Didn't have to get the derailleur because the stock one, I mean the shifter, but the stock shifter worked just fine. The old light, it was $79 for this one. It's a 1500 RN, very bright, detachable, so you can put it on and off. Very bright, and has the tail light. This is a smart tail light. I guess it lights up real bright when you slow down and everything. And this was $35. This is a 120 luminous tail light, and it's also detachable. You can take it off, twist it, and there you go. And I think it looks sleek. It doesn't look like, you know, it's big and bulky back there, you know what I mean? And that's basically what I need for the setup. I didn't need nothing else on it. So now the speed on this thing, guys, that is a whole different story. Okay, so let me turn this on and give you all the mode positions. Okay, so let's turn this on. I want the video so long, but just wanted to share y'all because I would love somebody to build another e-bike like this, or hell, you can just have me to build it for you. Shoot, if you have much confidence, I'll build it for you. I didn't mean to tell you about the Smart Sams. Smart Sams, gotta get them. They actually 47 bucks for the set. You get the front. You get the 2 tires, $47. Okay, and they're actually good tires, good for off roading. But if you're gonna ride on road, there's on-road tires too you can get though. But yeah, because I wouldn't run these on the road a lot though. They're gonna wear down because of the heavy motor, you know. So I ain't got this on, but hold on 1 minute. Let me put this camera down. Okay, now we got it. So I'm gonna turn it on because all the stuff came from NV Power, the controller and motor. So right now it's at 48 volts, well 48%. I'm sorry. So I wish I can ride it and show y'all, but I don't have much battery life in it, and I got to use it to go get the kids and everything. So mode 1 will take you 20 miles an hour. Okay. Mode 2 will take you upwards of 38 miles an hour. Mode 3 will take you to 52 miles an hour. Mode 4 is going to take you to 60 miles an hour. Don't even ask what mode 5 is, because I haven't even went there yet. I'm scared to even try to put on mode 5. I did it one time, and I barely was giving the gas, and it was already at 54 miles an hour. So yeah, that's out of the question for now. I haven't went that far yet, but if I do, I will definitely let y'all know how fast this thing is. But just on mode 3, it left the front wheels up like no other tomorrow. And this thing is heavy. I mean, it's pretty. It just the whole thing together, like as you see right here, weighs 98 pounds. But I'm gonna go get the scale and we're gonna put it on. Got the bike on the weight and everything. You ain't gonna be able to see it. It went off though. Damn it. I tried to weigh it, and I did put it on the scale, and it was right at 98.4 pounds. But I tried to do it with this. I put it on there, it weighed it, but when I tried to get the video, it went off, so I couldn't show y'all how much it weighed. But trust me, it's 98 pounds for this whole entire bike. And just let me tell you, if y'all want to do something like this, this is the way to go. If you want a regular bike, but yet fast as heck. I mean, like, just it's fun at the same time and scary at the same time. I mean, I don't know how to put it, but I mean, you can pretty much go anywhere with this bike. I mean, and it's, you know, don't have license to ride it though. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's dangerous. It's really fast. People don't really see you as a motorcycle. I mean, this bike kind of like hides in traffic. So, you know, you have to be very defensive when you ride this bike, you know. So, you know, so it just, hey, it's just like a motorcycle for speed is, but still a bike. So, but anyways, this, like I say, I'm gonna give you the total of everything so far that I paid for this bike. With the bike, battery, everything included, cost me about $2,700. Okay, now that price is gonna vary on what brakes you get, what kind of battery you get, what kind of controller. Do you want fast shipping? What kind of motor? Do you want the QS 205? Do you want the QS 273? Do you just want a 3,000 watt? So the price is gonna vary, but everything you see here was like $2,700, and this, like I say, just if you look at it, like I say, the hardest part is just the motor. It's just like, you know, saying it's heavy, but it's not too heavy. You know, getting lined up in the dropouts, getting the brakes set up where you want it, making your torque arm. Because you got to have a torque arm, or else this thing is gonna rip up out the frame. Like I say, I thrash this thing all the time, most of the time. Haven't gave me no problems. This frame haven't gave me no problems. Haven't shown no signs of cracking, bending, nothing like that. So it's perfectly fine for this setup right here, as you can see. Like I say, my son has one, and he rides just as hard as I do, but he got a 3,000 watt. I will be upgrading him to a QS 205, but it'll be a 3,000 and not the 5,000. But it will be the 5T, 4T or 5T. More torque. It won't heat up because the motor, I glued the magnets back in, but he rides a lot harder, and it gets hotter. It gets way harder. So so I'm just gonna upgrade him to a 5T because he does wheelies and everything. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this video on this bike and everything. If you have any questions, parts list, anything like that, or even if you want me to build it, let me know. But I'm gonna tell you something. You get this set up, it's gonna be fast, it's gonna be fun, and it's gonna be light. You know, this is for people, like I say, don't want to spend a lot of money on an enduro frame, and it feels more like a motorcycle than a bicycle. You know, but this bike I can pedal with it. That's why I got the 3-speed. I also gonna give you link in the description. Not description, but ask me where I get this from. It's 3 gears, and the reason why, because of the dropout of this motor is so wide. It comes with a single speed, but you can put a 3-speed on this with no problem. And it has a washer. Make sure you have one washer right there so you can have clearance between the frame and the cassette, and you'll be all right. Now the reason why this was welded, because this is the wrong derailleur hanger. I thought I ordered the right one. It wasn't the right one. So I just made it into the frame, and I just welded it. So that's why it looks kind of wonky right here. I think that's about it though. Anyways, let me know what you think of this bike. Check out my other video with my boy riding to school. Actually did some wheelies, you know, just stabbing the throttle, just doing this, just doing like that, and wasn't pulling up on the bars and everything, and it was just lift up. I mean, this motor is very powerful. It's a very powerful motor, man, and like I said, I recommend it to anybody that wants to go this route. So I'm going, like I said, I'm gonna end it for right now. Have any questions or just anything, any advice, let me know down in the comments. and I'll respond to you ASAP like I always do. It could be 2 o'clock in the morning. If I see it, I'm gonna respond. So this is it for now. Just y'all have a good day. This E-bike Life signing out. Oh, I forgot to mention too, if you ever do get these brakes, they come with the waterproof connections. So what I had to do, I had to tie in to my existing brake wires that came with the controller kit. They have those mechanical brakes with the sensor in that cuts off. But I forgot to mention that I had to do this right here. But there is options out there. You don't have to get the Zoom brakes, but there are hydraulic brakes that does have the cutoff plug that goes into the Cybertron controller. And one more thing before I go, when I was mentioning about the Cybertron controller, on my video that had I think it was the power of the 5,000 watt video, I had DC current set to 150. My boys ride to school, Jacoy's ride to school video, I had the DC current set to 200. So it was full blast. Both of those videos, no flux weakening. I had no flux weakening enabled on both of those videos. That gives you an idea of how powerful this controller is and that motor. So it had no flux weakening. It reached 58 miles an hour on mode 4, no flux weakening. So I just wanted to make that out there. Yeah, give you an idea of how powerful this bike is. So there you have it. Nice, powerful e-bike for cheap.